naked shamanism. Welcome to With Insights Radio. I'm your host, Iggy Garcia. I will take you on a journey across the universe through shamanism, metaphysical, and holistic. So sit back and relax and enjoy the show. All right. Want to welcome everybody to Iggy Garcia Live, episode 20. I am your host, Iggy Garcia, and let's get adjusted here real quick. All right. People are kind of come in. I broadcasted episode 19 the other day, and it was just kind of where I was feeling and where I was at. Hopefully you got to tune into that and listen to that episode. It was a lot of fun to do, and I really appreciate those who commented and those who sent me private messages about it. Today, our topic is going to be pretty much maybe a coaching session of sorts, but if you have a piece of amethyst like this piece that I have myself, I encourage you to get it out because we're probably going to need it today, okay? Because amethyst is one of those magical stones. It's a dream stone. It's also a stone that's used during the Greek time, I'm getting confused here a little bit, but the Greeks called it the stone that kept you from getting drunk. So this is also a magical stone. A lot of healers use this stone to help move energy and to be inside you. So if you have a piece of amethyst, like this chunk of amethyst that I have, hold it in your hands because this is a good time for healing and cleansing for that. So take that drunkenness out of us and that energy from us and just do whatever we need to do. So hopefully you can hear me. I hope that everybody is able to listen to what I can say. I turned up the volume a little bit. I think it was down, but I think now we're okay. So I want to wish everybody Happy New Year again, and hopefully you are getting to the place that you need to get. But I wanted to share real quick with you that my father-in-law passed away on January 8th. His battle with the infection in his lungs took his life. We buried him over the weekend, and he's resting and he's in a better place. And just want to take a moment to, think about, the loved ones we have in our lives and the people that are close to us. And sometimes we only have them for a moment, and sometimes we have them for a lifetime. Regardless, they meant something to us and they mean something to us. I know several of us on here have lost friends and family just in the last 6 months or so, or just recently in the last few days. But I want to send prayers and ceremony to those people who are in need or who are suffering right now, who don't feel very well. And hi to everybody who's on there. Hi, Elaine. How are you? Juanita, hi, everybody. But, get your amethyst stone out. It's good for the dreaming. It's good for building and creating a good place to kind of clear out that foggy mind that we have. This is what the amethyst will do, help us. And it's really well known for healing, especially the Catholic priests wear the amethyst. They have it. You probably don't see it in their necklaces and stuff they use that. So got your amethyst stone. We're all ready to go. All right. So my topic is, it's nothing new, nothing necessarily exciting, but it is something that we all struggle with. It is something that happens to us. We all kind of get into routines, into patterns and different things. So what I'm here to talk about today, and I really thought about the topic that I wanted to cover, and I kind of talked about it on several episodes back, but it just keeps coming back around, is who stole your dream? I mean, point blank, I'm just going to say, if you feel like your dream has been stolen or somebody has sabotaged you, and for any reason why you don't seem to be able to move forward in the progress in life and the things that you want to do, this is a good time to ask a question. Who stole your dream? Who stole it? Who did you allow to take something that you create in your mind? But here's another thing that I find also. Maybe you don't have a dream. Maybe you've never been taught to dream. You've never been taught to open your mind up to possibilities. I find that a lot of people don't do things that they wish they could do is because we become so conditioned just to do the everyday thing, to live, to exist, to, partake. And, as your intuitive coach here, that's what I am, your shaman, your coach, whatever you want to call me. I'm here to see what is it that you haven't been able to do in your life yet. And it's never too late to dream. It's never too late to begin. You can be 80. You can be 5. Go back in time a little bit and remember when you were 8 years old, and the things that you wanted to accomplish and the things that you wanted to do. And ask yourself, what stopped you? Why did you do it? Why did you quit? But go even further than that. Remember when you were little. Remember when you were small. You wanted to be the astronaut. You wanted to be the first woman in outer space, the first woman to the moon, the first man to do whatever. But you had these dreams. We had these amazing, unlimiting dreams. And then, nothing stopped us. And we were pretty determined that that's what we were going to do, and that's who we were going to be, and that's how we were going to live. And we were going to be whatever we wanted to be. Because somewhere down the line, someone said, you can do anything you want to do. You can be whatever you want to be. But eventually what happens is we get a little bit older, and then we become a little bit more wiser, a wise fool of sorts, your sophomore year. You start to say, well, I want to have a job. I want to do this, and I want to create. I'm not saying that you don't have a dream job, but most of us don't have a dream. Most of us don't even know what a dream is. Most of us struggle to find it. Now, for some of you, you probably have a dream. You probably have a purpose. You probably have something that you've done, something that you've wanted to do. But for a lot of us, I'm going to say it, a lot of us don't have the dream or the desire to do more than what we're already doing. And that's okay. And that's all right. But there are a segment of us who want to explore, who want to do more, who want to see the world in a much different way. And so those are the people that I hope hear this message, to step out of your comfort zone, to step out of who you think you are, or how you're perceived by others, or how you allow the perceptions to mold you and change you. I want to say that there was a time I didn't have a dream. I didn't know what it meant to dream, what it meant to actually physically, emotionally, spiritually feel something that was so moving and something that captivated me so much that I'd do anything to do that. Now, some of you are still in the process of developing. I'm in the process of developing my dream, whatever that dream is. My dream changes, and hopefully your dream changes and it morphs and it becomes something different. And especially for young people today, especially us elders, us older folks who are living our lives to the best of our ability, with the tools that have been taught to us. Imagine if your mom and your dad, and some of us are lucky because we had a mom and dad that said you can do anything. What if your mom and dad says you can be anything you want? You can do anything you want, but you're going to have to work for it. You're going to have to do it. You're going to have to go out there and fall down and get back up, fall down and get back up. Some of us are lucky we don't even have to fall but once, but some of us fall continuously. And that doesn't mean our dream stops right there. It doesn't mean that we have to quit and that's it. So those dream stealers are people who don't have dreams. A lot of dream stealers are people who have just said, this is it and there's no more. Your neighbor, your brother, your sister, your friends, your kids, the people closest to you could be dream stealers. Ask yourself, are they the first ones to be very negative about what you want to do and not willing to do the things that you want to do? Are they the ones that say, no one can do that? I mean, I know some of you have had that. I've had that. What's it going to take for you to pull out of that? What's it going to take for you to say, I want to move forward. I want to do something with my life that has never been done, or maybe it has been done, but I want to do it in a way that has never been approached or never been seen. Now, all of you who are here online right now listening to this, you all have dreams, and there's been parts of you that you've compromised in order to, let go, in order to succeed in this 3D world that we're all part of. But outside this 3D world, there's a 5D world, a 6D world, a 12D world, worlds that are beyond our imagination. If you look at any movie that you see, this is somebody's imagination, someone's dream, someone's belief to reconstruct a world that doesn't necessarily exist in the physical plane, but it exists in the minds of somebody. And all these people collaborate together to bring this magic that we call movies. Now, some of my friends make fun of me because I use movie analogies a lot. But movie is a form of art. Movie is a form of expression. Movie are the things that we are about. Movies are the things that we aspire to be. Now, I saw a movie with my son, which was called La La Land. Okay, my son, I cried. I cried because, they fought for their dream and they sacrificed for their dream. And sometimes we sacrifice for the dreams that we want to create. But I guarantee you, there's someone out there working twice as hard to get their dream and to get into the positions in order to win. So what I encourage people to do is to find that motivation. I don't know what motivates you. I don't know what gets you out of the bed. But last week, when the last show that I talked about just creating small, obtainable little goals, like making your bed. For some people, that's a struggle to make their own bed. But to make your bed, you see an accomplishment. To make a bed is an accomplishment. It does take work to do it properly, to do it right, to make it look nice. Ask yourself, when's the last time you made your bed? When's the last time you washed your sheets? As gross as that sounds, some of us are probably sleeping on the same sheets for months. But that's just where you're at. It doesn't make it right or wrong. It's just where you're at. And I'm not here to judge or parent you for that. I'm just here to help you move into the energies that we need to move. That's why this amethyst, this dream stone, is important, powerful. Now, does this amethyst actually make me want to do something? Or is it just the association about it? This amethyst, the beauty in it, just to absorb and to observe the beauty. When I put it up to the light, I see all kinds of reflections and fractals in it, and all different things. And we're like this stone. We're exactly like this amethyst stone. We're rough on some edges and we're smooth on others. And some deep down inside our core, there's a beauty that we still can't see, that we can't not even obtain until it's either broken or until the stone is polished. A lot of us are going through the rough stage, and a lot of us are going through the polished stage. Some of us are going to just stay rough. And there's nothing wrong with being in the rough. We sometimes as human beings, we think that life is just now. But with the people that I run around with, we believe that you never die. This physical body perishes. This physical body moves on and goes someplace else. Okay? And it rots and it goes into the earth. And, I had a good question asked to me the other day. Why don't you want to be buried? I said, you know what? That's a choice to be buried. If you want to be left in a coffin and you want to be put in there for eternity of sorts, or what they would say. When I thought about that, I'm going, well, you know what? I would rather be cremated personally, in my opinion, for Iggy, because I want to be able to be scattered across the ocean, scattered across the winds, put under a tree and physically absorb and be part of everything again, versus being separate from it. And for me, being inside of a box underground was separate and isolated and waiting for something. Well, I don't want to wait for anything. I want to be part of everything. I want to move through everything, be everything. My energy's flowing through everything, so why doesn't my body allow to be flowing through everything? I want it to be the foods of the worms, the fertilizer for the plants, the trees, because that's where I'm from. I believe in the Mother Earth, to return to her. That's my belief. And I don't discount or, put down the person who wants to lay in a coffin until eternity, until the trumpets play again. But I want to enjoy it in the process. And they asked me, well, they said it's a sin. I said, why is it a sin? I said, if God is as powerful as God says he is, or supposed to be, then God can reconstitute me back into the body that I had before and bring me back. And they looked at me and they said, that's a good point. Because the Creator can do anything. The Creator is limitless. There's no limit to possibilities of the universe. So, but that's where I come from. You don't have to own that belief. You don't have to be part of that. It's just what it is. It is. That's how I want to be remembered. That's how I want my body to be scattered among the ashes, amongst the dirt. So when I talk about your dreams, it's a powerful thing to talk about dreams, about the things we wanted to be, the things that we wanted to grow up. And I'm still growing up, honestly. May sound kind of funny, but I'm still exploring and I'm still wondering and I'm still curious. And I still have a childlike mind about things that are possible. I don't just take into account, but I don't also just chuck everything aside and say, well, I'm not going to pay my bills or do this or that. I'm also have my responsibilities. But there was a time where I wasn't like that. There was a time where I said, I can't do this anymore. But eventually, over the course of time and different things play out, I decided that it's time for me to reassess what my dream is. What is my dream? What is Iggy Garcia's dream? Ignacio Garcia, Nacho Garcia. What does it mean to be me? First of all, I need to know what it means to be me. How do I fit in the grand scheme of everything? How do I affect the world? How do I go and what do I contribute being on this plane, this planet, this earth, this universe? So I have to assess who I am and what I want to do, what I want to accomplish. And I tell you, you know what? That's probably the hardest thing I ever had to do. That's the most difficult thing to do for me, to sit there and go, okay, what am I going to do? What am I going to be? What am I part of? How am I going to be part of it? Is it enough to just exist and be a moving, breathing, consuming being on this planet? I already do that automatically. I consume and I use and I contribute back. But there's another aspect of humanity, another aspect of man and woman that is greater and deeper. It's the spirit and the soul inside of us that wants to reach outside of us and move outside of us and be part of everything, be part of everyone, and experience things. Maybe it's just me that feels that way. Maybe it's just what I want to be. But I find when I talk to people that people generally want to accomplish things in their life. They want to be remembered. They want to leave a legacy. They don't just want to die and that's it. And so today, as I was texting my friends, I was talking and my family, and I said, hey, you know what? I am leaving a beautiful legacy for my family. And you know what that legacy is? Remember when you do your genealogy and when you're sitting at home and you're looking up all your ancestors and how difficult it is to find papers and to find photos or information. Well, all of us are very super lucky. For number one, we have Facebook. Okay, we have YouTube. And for Iggy Garcia, I have these radio shows and these podcasts. So it tickled me pretty good to know that one day when I'm no longer here, or even my kids and then my grandkids' kids, they won't have to go too far to find me. All I have to do is search Iggy Garcia, and there I am popping up. And I say, great Grandpa Iggy was a diverse person. He loved to, facilitate healing with people through drumming, through podcasting, and all different things. And I thought it was pretty amazing. I thought, because I struggled with that. I struggled with that aspect. What am I going to leave my family behind? Money only goes so far. Money, you can leave money, and then the next generation spends it. But leaving these messages and these hidden treasures and these conversations and these moments with other people that I've done shows with you folks who are online with me, Tishan, you're there and I appreciate that's recorded forever unless it's deleted. I have no intention to delete it, but my family's going to read this and they're going to say, wow, this is pretty cool. He did something. And sometimes we do things and we don't even think about it. And that came to me, maybe because of the loss of my father-in-law kind of sparked something in my mind to, be more, go towards my dream. So what was my dream? As a kid, I always liked to talk. I always liked to gab, loved to play sports. But the biggest thing was I always wanted to make a difference in the person that I always met. I always wanted to make sure that they always left knowing that I was genuine, that I was sincere about shaking their hands, saying hello, and being that in their presence. It wasn't just a superficial thing. Hey, what's up? I just can't be like, hey, what's up? I really am genuinely feel I want to know what you're feeling. What's going on? Are you okay? You good? Boom, boom. If that's all we have to say, then fine. So all this work, my dream, so I share my dream with you. My dream is to share what's inside of me and share what I've learned from other mentors, other teachers, other spiritual guides from the universe, from my family. For me, it's not about the money, because it's about the rewards of seeing someone smile, someone's life change. And I've seen countless people's lives change, and in the testimonies and reports back. So I know deep down in my heart that I'm doing the right thing, and everything else will fall in place. So my dream is to be, you know, someone who guides people to where they need to be, someone who helps people help themselves heal. That's what I want. That's what life is for me. That's what I find precious. That's what I want to strive to be. To say, hey, you know what? You can do it. That's why I coach soccer. That's why I coach in sports, because I want to instill the belief in young people that they can do anything, and even older people. Anybody can do anything they want, but you must have the preparation. You must develop the skills. You must develop all the things inside of us that you feel you lack. So when it's time to share, when it's time to go into that space and tell somebody, then you have a vantage point where you can work from. I played soccer, so I'm able to tell kids about soccer. I've drummed for many years, so I can tell people, I can share my perceptions of drumming. The thing is, sometimes we get locked into dogmatic thinking. Dogmatic thinking is when we think it's the only way we can learn. It's the only way that it's supposed to be. It's the only way our ancestors did it. It's the only way that we were supposed to do it. Well, that works for some, but for the majority of people, that doesn't work. Dogmatic thinking is fine. It has its place. But how about a little exploration within that dogma? Why do we do that? Did we do that because in those days we only had that? For example, why don't they use a lighter when we smoke the sacred pipe? Is it because it's not sacred? Or is it because the butane goes into your lungs as you're huffing through? Or is it just because it's not tradition? I'm sure if Native Americans had shovels and they had automobiles, they'd use them back in the 1800s, 1700s, or even the Incas or the Aztecs. If they had the tools and the technology, I believe that they would use them. They would have used them to their ability. I think you use what you have. If I had a flying ship that takes me to outer space, I would probably use it to go see things in outer space. Since I don't have that, technically, I have to use my mind, my imagination, my creativity, what's inside of me that propels me forward into that. So it's the same way. When someone steals our dream, it's because we allowed it. And we didn't allow it because we said, hey, steal my dream, take my dreams and take my beliefs and shove them down the toilet. No, it's very subtle. Sometimes it's very subtle. It's very, not even thinking. Next thing you know, you kind of fall into these little patterns, and the next thing you know, all of a sudden, you find yourself in a situation going, wow, how did I get here? That's because we compromised, or something happened. There was a trauma. There was an abuse. There was something that changed our thinking. Or maybe we just didn't want to dream. Maybe that dream wasn't powerful enough. Maybe it wasn't big enough. Maybe it wasn't what I really, truly wanted. I would probably have to say it probably wasn't truly what you really, really wanted. It was just probably something you wanted in that moment in time. It was something that at that moment was important. So every day you have to reassess who you are as a human being on this planet, what you're part of and what you're going to be part of, how you're supposed to be part of, how you're supposed to be, us. We are the dream. And when we start believing and we start understanding that we are the dream, that we are the incarnation, the spirit, the soul of the universe, that we are magical, that we do and we create environments, we create situations. We are the most creative beings in the planet. Not to take away from our brothers and sisters, the animal kingdoms or the insects or anything, but the things we create are phenomenal. Have you seen some of the buildings we've created? Have you seen the planes we've created? Have you seen the technology we've created? We all use it. We all at some point or another have touched it. My wallet right here. Somebody created that. Somebody had the idea, the dream. I'm going to make some type of packaging machine or something that holds my bills and stuff. We go any further. The amethyst colored glass that I have. Somebody created that. Somebody had the vision to say, we need to create something, a vessel that holds liquids or whatever. Mother Earth does the same thing. Mother Earth creates these stones, these beautiful jasper stones. Mother Earth created this amethyst. This is Mother Earth's creation. Look how beautiful it is. Look. Now tell me, if Mother Earth can create such beautiful wonders, don't you think man and woman can do the same? Absolutely. Absolutely, we can. We are the most creative creature. When we die, we create. Even in death, we create. My father-in-law visited me after he'd passed. The lights in the bathroom were flickering. I mean, almost like someone was sending me a Morse code. And at first I didn't think about it. And I go, oh, wait a minute. That's my father-in-law telling me that he's on the other side or he's okay or maybe he's in trouble. I don't know. That was a joke. But anyhow, I was just thinking, I'm just going, that's a message. And then my family also, the lights were flickering in the dining room. They were flashing, boom, 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 boom. And I'd have to say that was him, because what else could it be? What other things could it be? The power, we're so powerful beings. We're so powerful that we can hamper our own selves. We can get in our own way. And most of the time, we do get in our own way. I get in my way. Most of the times, the thoughts that fill my mind are the things in my own self that hamper myself from growing sometimes, because I have self-worth at that moment, or I don't feel worthy enough, or I don't feel loyal to the people around me, etc., etc., etc. But that's part of growing. That's part of the process of experimenting and feeling and learning. We have to feel those emotions. We need to feel emotions. It's important when you feel sad to feel it. You need to feel your sadness if you're sad. There's nothing wrong with crying. There's nothing wrong with laughing. There's nothing wrong with being upset. I guess the only thing that I would say matters is how long you want to stay in those emotions and how long you want to be stuck in that moment. Most people would call it your ego. It protects you. I get that. But how long we stay in those emotions, how long we stay there is vital to how we move forward in our interaction with other people, interaction with ourselves. We are the biggest interaction. We interact with us more than anybody interacts with us. And even when we interact with others, we don't really show people who we are. Because for some people, that would be so scary to show others who we truly are. And I don't know if it serves any purpose to really show everybody truly who you are sometimes. If you're not angry, why create anger? Why create an angerish moment so they can see that? You may be around people who never make you angry, who never upset you, and that happens. But then you're around another group of people who just bring the worst out of you. But in the same token, you have people who bring the best out of you, who nurture you and catapult you into places and to do things that you've never were able to do. So I find it amazing how certain groups, especially your family is very huge on this. Family can probably motivate you or really bring you down. So you have to be aware of that. You have to know that maybe running things by your parents or running things by your brothers and sisters, your siblings, your cousins may not be a good thing. Number one, they're too close to you. There's too much, they think they know you stuff. Well, I know Iggy. Yeah, he's done that before. Blah blah blah. It's okay. Well, he's all right. He doesn't do that. Or Iggy, this. Oh, he starts something, he quits something. Whatever. But that's their version of you. That's how they perceive you. That's how they look at you. Then there's other people who are just unconditionally accept you for who you are and how you are. and what you bring to the table. And they don't expect anything in return. And sometimes those people jump on board with you and they go, I'm going to help you build that because you know what? By helping you build that, I'm going to build something too. I don't know what it is yet, but I feel it inside me and I see it inside you. So let's work together. All right. Now, your family, you're supposed to move from your family from time to time and come back, ebb and flow with them. That's natural because that's just how it's been. That's how it always was. But there are families who are really, really strong and work close together too. So I can't discount the fact that there are people who, with their family, do wonderful things. But the majority of people that I know, it doesn't always work. But for me personally, what I find works for me is, collaborating with people outside of my family. My family seems to, like you said, zaps your energy. They zap you, man. And sometimes they mean to do it, sometimes they don't. But when they zap you, and you're like, and then you're like, it takes time to get back, and you got to build your self confidence. Oh, I can do this. I know it. So how do you build your dream? Well, first of all, if you don't have a dream, maybe it's not important to call it a dream. Maybe we should call it something else. Call it something else. Maybe you need to figure out what's important to you. Now, you guys kind of have a little bit of insight what's important to me. But a lot of times when we have these dreams, the reason we don't do them, and this is one reason of many reasons, is we don't know how to get there. We don't have a plan. We don't have a focus. We don't have necessarily a drive that drives there, but we don't have the vehicle to get us there. Now, a lot of you guys are like me, like nice cars, like nice houses, and like the things. And yeah, some people would call them materialistic things. No, I honestly believe that if you want something, and if that's important to you, then that's important. Not because it's materialistic. You have the right as a human being to express and love and enjoy the fruits of this planet and this world. Now, when you help others get to that goal, when you help others achieve that goal, then you receive your goal. But for many people, they don't follow their dreams and they can't get to where they need to be because they don't have a map. They don't have a way to get there. They see it, they can taste it, but it's like cooking. Cooking spaghetti. You can throw the meatballs frozen, or if you make them by hand, on the table, and you can throw the pasta in the box, or you can make it by hand. Or you can put the sauce out of the jar, or you can make it by hand. You have all these ingredients. There's different ways and different ingredients to get to where you want to be, but you got to have the ingredients. Now, spaghetti without spaghetti sauce and meatballs to me is not spaghetti. It's just pasta, right? Noodles. But it's still, the only thing that makes it pasta or makes it spaghetti is when you put the sauce on it, right? Then it's spaghetti. But it's always spaghetti. It's spaghetti noodles, but it's spaghetti. So, semantics here, but regardless, life is life. Okay, we're going to go to life now. Life is life. We breathe. We eat. We go to the bathroom. Some of you thought I was going to say something else. But anyhow, we all move through life. Life is life. What you take out of life and how you perceive life is the key. How you look at life, how I look at life, and what I grab from life is really up to me. How I'm going to grab things out of life and enjoy the fruits of life is up to me to figure that out. How do I figure that out? Number one, understand the stuff that you're reading every day. What are you reading every day? What do you read every day? Are you reading books, comics, newspapers, novels? Important. Number two, what do you listen to? Are you listening to podcasts like mine? Are you listening to music that, builds you up? Are you listening to motivational things that inspire you to move forward to where you want to be? Now, this is for the ones who are really motivated, the ones who feel like they need a little push. Number three, your associations. What are your associations? Who do you hang out with? Who are your friends? There's that old saying, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. There's some truth to that. I can't always say it's true, but ask yourself, who am I hanging out with? So basically, it's the things you read, the things you listen to, and the people you're hanging out. Those are the three very key points to why some people can't move forward. It's called reprogramming. It's your program. It's our program in our head, inside this noggin here, this big head of mine. There is years and years and years of beliefs and disbeliefs and programmings and indoctrinations from other people, religions, beliefs, dreams, breakups, dramatic moments. It's all in there. So when I need to call upon it, okay, which we all do, it goes, okay, that guy right there, they did this to me. So I have to be careful and I have to be cautious that that doesn't happen to me again. So what happens? Then we build these shields. We build these blinders. We build these things, these doors and these things, these boxes. And then what happens is it's hard for us to come out of those habits. Someone else shows up like, and their intention was never to, do whatever they were going to do. But you start to recall, you start to go back to your memories. Your memory bank starts to work. It starts to go, okay, let me find that. Okay. And then sometimes when we're looking through there is no memory of that. There is no association. So we listen and we go, well, that's pretty interesting. And then you're engulfed and then you're drawn in. And at that moment, you're going, well, that's pretty neat. Then you might hear the same story again, differently. But most of us work from memory, work from past association, past things that happened to us. Or my uncle said, or my aunt said this is what happened to them. It didn't work for them. Okay, so why should I try it? Why am I going to waste time? I'm going to tell you, if you have something that you truly want to do and somebody else did it and it didn't work for them, it's not necessarily not going to work for you. It possibly could work for you. It's okay to listen to outside, sources and say, giving you information. You listen, you record it, but you always have a window of opening, a possibility. Because what they maybe didn't do, you're willing to do. Maybe you're willing to stay open later in the day. Maybe you're willing to go an extra mile. Maybe you're willing to talk to one more client. Maybe you're willing to do one more thing that somebody else didn't do. So many of us take the word of somebody who did something or been there or done that, and sometimes we make our decisions based on that, and we can't always do that. Sometimes we have to create our own, mind. You can ask 3 people, and 3 people can say, "Oh, I did that, it failed. Oh, I did that, didn't work." And then you might find one person says, "Oh, yeah, that was amazing, and this is why I'm where I'm at." So many of us, sometimes when we are approached by people to, to expand our beliefs, expand our horizons, automatically we go to the negative. Okay, why didn't it work? Why isn't it working? Why didn't it work for you? Why isn't it not working for me? Why didn't you? Because we're just, by human nature, we are drawn to find the things that aren't working instead of going, what's making it work? Why can't I do it? How did you do it? We don't ask the right questions sometimes. How did you become successful? How did you move into that space? What is it that you did that made you want to do it again and again and again? For a lot of us, we're not willing to do the work. That's why our dreams, sometimes we don't fulfill our dreams because we're not willing to do the work. It's easier to compromise, to go to school and do this and do that and be done with it. Maybe for some people, that is their dream. But reassess, create a new dream. Don't stop. When you finish one dream, create another dream. Your kids are watching you. If you don't have kids, your nieces and nephews are watching you. Somebody's always watching you and saying, wow, that guy's successful. And then you know what? And you're going, oh, man, I wish I was more successful. Someone will say that. But, that's how it is. Life is like that. It's kind of funny, We look at other people and go, wow, that guy's got his stuff together. That girl's got her stuff together. I wish I was like them. Or ooh, I don't want their life, Either way, regardless, you're always somebody. Everybody on this chat, everybody on this podcast, you touch somebody's life. You influence somebody in ways that you have no clue that you do. And they look up to you. They may not tell you, they may never ever tell you, but I guarantee you, if you have children, those of you who have kids, they are watching every single thing you do. I have grown kids, so I know this because I've done this part already. And they still watching you. And they're still doing those things. So your kids, trust me, they are watching you. And if you want to instill dream building in them, it starts with you. And it doesn't have to be big dreams. These dreams don't have to be extravagant dreams. A dream is tailored to what you want it to be. Your dream has to be yours, unique, and yours, in your heart, in your spirit. Just like this amethyst stone that Mother Earth created. This is one creation of gazillions on this planet. There was a grand scheme that created this planet, created the clouds, created the atmosphere, created the sun, the moon. There was something out there. And those of you who are atheists and don't believe in creating or whatever, but you have to believe that there is nothing. That's the biggest belief of ever. To believe that there's nothing after this, that there's nothing. So you have to hold that belief to the day you die. I have a belief that anything's possible. You can do anything you want. You have to work. You have to do it. Because no one's going to do it for you. That's the biggest thing. Nobody's going to do the work for us. We have to do the work. When we make that decision that we want to move into a better place, a better light, an awakening, okay, of sorts, an enlightened moment, okay, and I believe we have enlightened moments, not necessarily that you awaken and enlighten. Nobody's better than anybody. We just feel sometimes that we understand. A person who is enlightened, a person who's awake, never tells another person who's asleep that they're awake. That's my belief. A person doesn't go, "Oh, you must be asleep. I'm awakened." It's not about bragging. Being awake and enlightened is not about bragging. It's about doing and showing and being the volunteer, being the person that guides the person who's still asleep, the person who's hurting, the person who's depressed, the person who's going through things. That's an enlightened moment. That's why enlightened moments are powerful. Those are your dreams. Those are the things you do. When you dream so big and so powerful, nobody can steal it from you. Other people are watching, and it inspires other people. Other people are inspired. Why do you get inspired by people who are successful? You get inspired because of the possibilities of the things that you can do. That's why we get inspired. That's why I get inspired. That there is hope that I can do something as great as that other person, as that other human being who has 24 hours on the clock, who sleeps 8 hours or maybe 5 hours, who eats and drinks and goes to the bathroom. So the inspired moments come and we grab them. And you're not always going to feel inspired. I get that. I know that. There's days you just want to lock up like a turtle, just hide your head, and that's fine. Do it, get it done, get it over with, and then get back in the game. The game is of life, but it's your life. Not the life that's around you. It's the life that you create. It's the life that's in you, that you share with the world. When you share with the world the things that are inside you, the world can't help but see it. It's going to see it. The world's going to notice that you're doing something different, something that other people aren't willing to do. So I encourage you, make decisions on what your dream is. Your dream can change every day. Dreams don't have to be cars and things. Dreams can be just knowing how to love people more and better, how to love yourself in a better way. The dream is tailored to the person, to the individual, and how they want to express themselves on this plane, in this moment in time. Because we only truly have moments. We only have moments that we can actually share with other people. Moments with our kids, moments with our significant others, moments with our mothers and fathers, those of who we have. That's all we can really share. We can't share tomorrow. We can't share yesterday. We can only talk about yesterday. We can only recount the things that we did or wish we had done. But in this moment right now, in this particular moment, like right now, this is the most important thing to me than anything. For Iggy Garcia, being on this live feed with you is the most important thing. There could be 1,000 things going on. The earth could be falling apart and crumbling, but that doesn't matter because right now, sharing my thoughts, my feelings, and my emotions with you is the most important thing. Hopefully, you find a place in your heart where you're able to share with people those moments. And for a lot of people, they don't understand what being in the moment means. Being in the moment is just being present for yourself and to others, to have empathy for others, not necessarily sympathy, but have an empathic moment for them. Be the empath. Have empathy. Be the intuitive. If they're crying, instead of just lumping out and just saying something, assess the moment. Do they want me to say anything? Do they want me to open my mouth? Do they want me to share my grief? Or do they just want me to be there and listen? For many of us, listening is something we need to work on. I do too. But listening is so powerful. So powerful. And knowing when to interact and when to interject with other people. Now, some of you have probably been told, you're a great listener. Or, you talk too much, or whatever. I don't know, but I know this happens because this has happened to me. And I've seen it, and I've watched it, and I've perceived it from others. But listening doesn't mean that you can't talk. Listening means to know when to talk, when to share, when to engage. So when someone's talking about their dreams, when someone's talking about something they want to do, listen. Listen to them, because you will learn something from them. Because Spirit has a way of sending you messages. Okay, if you're listening, okay, Spirit has a way of sending you messages and give them to you in wrapping papers that we're not familiar with, and eventually they will unfold and they will make themselves known. You may have to hear one word or one sentence in order to activate something inside of ourselves. You'd be surprised. I've learned so much just by listening and paying attention and go, oh, and then you have that aha moment. Oh my gosh, I needed to hear that. How many of you have said that? Oh my gosh, I needed to hear that. Or I had my aha moment by just listening. Let me know. I need to know. It's important. Now, when it's your turn to talk, hopefully the courtesy is given to you by another for you to share your thought. So when you have to speak, speak. Speak from your heart. Speak from truth. Understand that we are sharing creatures. We love to share. We love to share. We love to share everything. Pictures, music. Did you see that movie? Oh my God, you have to see this movie. Oh my God, this. Oh my God, that. Because we're sharing. It's about community. It's about being part of something. We all want to be part of something. I truly believe that we all do. There are very few exceptions, but I believe that everybody wants to be part of something grand, something big, something powerful. Share something about themselves that's never been shared. I truly, truly, truly believe this. It's because I was a kid once, and I know I wanted to share my dreams. I wanted to share my thoughts to my mom and my dad and to my uncles and my aunts. I wanted to share. I wanted to tell them what I did that day. That's how I know that we are sharing creatures. Today, I'm sharing today. Because that's what we do. We share. And the little people around us, they're watching. They're listening. And be careful if you don't listen, if you don't, they'll go outside of you to find the person who will listen to them. And the person who will, they'll put on a pedestal. I'm not here to tell you to be put on a pedestal. I'm just here to say, hey, you know what? Pay attention to the signs that, the little guys are watching. And they have dreams. Foster their dreams. But also explain to them, in order to get to that dream, you may have to do some things. You may have to fall. You may have to help others up along the way. You may be helped up along the way, but to never quit, never give up. Because we can't stop. We can never quit. We can take breaks, and we can take hiatuses, but never stop. Never stop dreaming. Never stop building. And figure out how you're going to get there. That's what I do. I coach, intuitive coaching. If you need help, I'm here. You know how to reach me. Most of you know me. What would it take? Figure it out. Create a strategy. All right. Now, we're going to move into the segment part of animal card readings, okay? Thank you for listening to that part. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to shuffle cards. And those of you who want card drawn, let me know, and I'll intuitively read. I'm not going to read from the actual book itself, but I'm just going to draw the cards, and I'm going to go from my intuitive aspect of the card. I'm going to read it for you. So anybody who would like to get a card reading, just say something on the line there. Just pop a little note, say, hey, Iggy, draw me a card. Okay, and I'll give you a reading. Okay, so this card is actually one of my favorite card decks. It's from Stephen D. Foster, PhD. It's the Power Animal Oracle cards. It's, I don't know, I'm energetically drawn to that card. Okay. All right, so we're going to do some readings now. We're going to shift a little bit. We're going to go into the shamanic aspects of the show. All right, pick me, Lady Willow. All right, give me a number 1 through 5. 1 through 5. And then we'll count them off. All right, here we go. Just waiting for her to pop back on the screen. All right, so what we're going to do, when I ask you guys, I'm going to go to Sean real quick. Just give me a number 1 through 5, and then Juanita, pick a number, and then David, you got 3. Since David's given me a number, I'm going to go with him real quick. And number 3, so we're going to go 1, 2, and 3. All right. David, you're the proud owner of the hummingbird card. Okay. The hummingbird card is joy and lighten up. The hummingbird is actually a northern card for the Native American indigenous people of South America. The hummingbird is about rainbows. It's about beauty. It's about singing and joy. It's about expression, heavenly beings and spirits, kind of like the wolf that sits there. The hummingbird is also about understanding to be joyful in the moments that you need to be, but it's also to back off a little bit. You know, sometimes you can be a little bit too forward and too strong, and people need to see the more joyful side of you also. That, you know, it's not always the dark. But the cool thing here's the thing about the hummingbird that most people don't know. The hummingbird card, the hummingbird in general, okay, during the day, it's the most quickest and the fastest, and it's moving, and it's like buzzing everywhere. Buzzing fast, moving quick. But at night, it goes into a catatonic state. It actually its heart rate completely slows down, and it's almost like dead. So basically what life, it's the contrast. It's the shadow side, and it's the light side. So David's spirit is saying to, you know, embrace both your shadow and your light and find them together in the moment, and know how you're going to embrace that to other people, how you're going to share that with other people. And not to be too extreme one way and too extremes the other, but always stay in movement. And when it's time to move, you move around. And when it's time to rest, rest. Spirit wants you to rest as much as you play. And that is your reading, David. Okay, Deshaun, let's move your card here. You want 2. Okay, this one just jumped out. Okay. All right. Deshaun, this is the card, and you have the butterfly. Beautiful card. Okay. And you probably know about the butterfly transmutation. Get ready to get through a big breakthrough. Okay, for a big breakthrough. Okay. And it's perfect because the topic has been about dreams. It's about, you know, getting ready to make a change, make a movement. The transformation can be very extreme. It can be very subtle. It's about being ready to just be ready to be accepting whatever comes your way, to be prepared and to be in that space to say, if the shit hits the fan, you're able to adjust. And if the beautiful things come to you, you're able to adjust to it. Okay, so the butterflies here is about spreading your wings, flying, expression. But remember, the butterfly has beauty, okay? And it has all the different colors, all the manifestation. The butterfly becomes a completely different creature from when it was in the cocoon. So that's what you are. You're also a beautiful creature who came from a place where you were transforming, and a place where you were actually growing, and a place where you were actually letting go of things that didn't serve you anymore. The butterfly is also saying, it's time now to let go of those things again. There's things that you need to let go that right now are holding you back. Now you need to be free like the butterfly and fly. But the butterfly also rests. The butterfly also takes a moment to assess and say, it's beautiful out here. It sucks the nectar and it's, the pollens from the plants. It knows when to enjoy and when not to. But its life is also about working and continuing and building. So that's your read for today. Okay, Juanita, you want numbers. Draw number 6. Okay. Okay, here we go. Went all the way to 6. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and card 6 is. Ooh, these are awesome cards. And Juanita, you have the Eagle card. Okay. The Eagle card. Spirit. Trust in your higher self. Well, you couldn't get a better card to trust in higher self. For many of us, we're afraid to trust higher self because higher self gives us tasks that maybe we don't know how to approach them, or maybe it's too fearful. But higher self will never give you something that you cannot handle. Okay? Higher self will say, Anita, it's time to spread those wings. Okay? And it's time for you to use those binocular type eyes to see things that others don't see. It's time for you to grow in ways that you've only dreamt of. Now it's time to actually take what you've learned, everything that you've processed, and this is the messenger from Spirit. This is God card. This card is about, sharing the gifts that you have, and you have been sharing them, but it's time to share more, but to share them in a way that is positive, in a way that isn't loving, a way that is embracing, in a way that is inviting. So many of us try to share stories that are not inviting. It's more parenting and, and putting people down. Well, Spirit wants you to share, but to be firm, but share. Share in ways that others will appreciate the sharing. So that's your read, Juanita, to share with compassion, love, and empathy. See if anybody else has a card they want me to draw. Okay, my husband is listening. He said number 3, please. Okay. Second. My husband is there. You got 1, 2, and 3. All right. All right, husband, here's your card. The kangaroo. Kangaroo. The kangaroo is about gratitude. Be grateful for all of your blessings. Okay? Be grateful for all of your blessings. Be grateful for all your blessings. Be grateful for all your blessings. Have gratitude. Have gratitude. The kangaroo, its marsupial, the baby, comes out and then latches itself on. Could you imagine being a baby inside of a pouch and suckling and being connected and apart from yourself at the same time? Imagine yourself with Spirit. Spirit has birthed you, born you. Spirit is there. You're suckling and you're learning. Spirit is just saying, I'm here. You can suckle from me, but sometimes you have to let go. At some point, you will have to come out of the pouch. But when you come out of that pouch, or pouches throughout your life, have gratitude. Have an understanding of the blessedness in that. The blessed be. How grateful that is. Do you remember the breath you just took a minute ago, or a second ago, or half a second ago? Do you remember that? And was it possible? Did you think about it when I said it? Spirit wants you to remember the pouches that you come out of. To come out of them with an open heart, an open mind, and to think and go, anything's possible. I served my moment inside the pouch. Inside that pouch, I had to learn things, gather things, think about things. Now I'm out. Now I get to share with others what I learned inside the pouch. But I also get to learn others and their stories, because we're all about stories. We're all about learning, and all about teaching. So for you, the kangaroo is also about jumping to heights that have not been jumped yet, to reach to that place And sometimes you're going to have to box your way through and fight through that, metaphorically, just like the kangaroo does. Okay? But the thing is, when you get there, you'll know you're there. But guess what? It's time to get out of that pouch and move to the next pouch. And so on. Our story never ends. We keep moving. So I invite you to that space of learning, space of embracing. Spirit says, be ready to fight a little bit. Jump to the heights that you want to be. Be prepared to share your story with others because people are listening. And that's your read. All right, I'm not sure if anybody else is online who wants to read. Amber, welcome to the live stream. Right now we're doing the animal card readings, and if you want a reading, let me know. Just ask everybody to pick a card from 1 through 10 or 1 through 5, whatever you call it, or a number that just pops out. And, those of you who are joining us right now, if you want to read, just you're welcome. You're welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed the reads. And if you want to have a time with me to have a reading, more in-depth reading, let me know. We can set up a time. You can just call me at iggygarcia.com. You can get all my information to contact me there. Amber, would you like a reading? I know things are probably on a little bit of delay here, but I'm doing animal card readings, so if you're open to that, let me know. And I'm going to see what's going on. And Denise, welcome to the live stream. I'm shuffling cards right now. We're doing the animal card readings. So if you want to draw, let me know, and we'll get going on here. But animals are here to teach us. Okay, animals are here to teach us. We learn from animals, and animals are our mirrors. They're also our reflections. They are also our shadow. They are also our light. They are aspects of us that sometimes when you see an eagle fly, we're just in awe, aren't we? We're like, oh, that's pretty cool. But then sometimes we see a cockroach and we're like, ooh, gross, kill it. Some of us are like that. And it's just how it is sometimes. Now I'll get back to that in a second. So let's see. Denise, you want number 1. So let me shuffle these real quick. Spirit says shuffle them one more time. Okay, I'm gonna go. And 1, boom. Oh, okay. Your card is actually the lizard. Dream time, pay attention to your dreams and visions, which is kind of funny. That's what our topic has been all day on this show tonight. Has been about dream building. All right, the lizard is talking about dreaming, to be in the moment, to pay attention, the visions and the things that come to you. Those are gifts from Spirit. Spirit is saying, hey, as we are preparing in these dreams and embark on these visions that we're going, remember, the lizard is a cold-blooded creature, so it has to sit in the sun to warm itself up. As same as you are as a human being, it's not about sitting, not because you're cold-blooded, but it's about sitting there in the moment and listening to the messages that are coming to you. Sometimes we could walk and receive those messages, but to sit there and to be in that moment and to receive that message that you need to. The lizard is just saying to pay attention, to slow down, to be where you need to be. And as the sun sets upon you and heats you up, you receive your messages. Because what happens is these messages come into us through our back of our neck, through our heart, through our head, headaches, extreme headaches. Our feet hurt, our lower back. So all these things that you're feeling, is about Spirit communicating to you. But it's also Spirit reminding you that we also have to take care of our temple, the temple of our body. Spirit is saying that we need to that our mission is not complete about taking care of our temple, our physical body. And this is for everybody who's online. We all have to feed our body right. Spirit is saying that on this particular card, in order for us to foster the dreams and the visions we need to have. And that's your read. All right, and let's see. And there was another read, I believe. I think Amber wanted to read too. Roll back the screen here. All right. Okay, Amber, let's get your card. Okay, Amber, here we go. Let me shuffle these really good. There, Amber, you got the butterfly. Okay. I know I just shuffled this card really good. And, Spirit has a way of working things. Spirit wants to remind all of us that we are still transforming. Get ready for a big breakthrough. Okay, Amber, now your personal read off that card. This card for me is saying movement, change, acceleration. You're holding back on something, and I don't know why you're holding back, but it's time to step into the area that you need to move into, because what's happening, you can't stay there long enough. You can't stay there because it's not serving you. So as the cocoon served the caterpillar, it doesn't serve the butterfly. Okay, the butterfly can't live inside the cocoon. It has to literally come out, take on all the chemical chain reaction from the cocoon and all the juices that it needs to do, and then it needs to dry up in the sun, and eventually becomes a butterfly. We can't help this journey that the butterfly is saying is going to be your journey. No one can really necessarily not help you, but we can't have people pulling you out of the cocoon. Okay, we can't have someone ripping you out of the cocoon. We need you to come out of that cocoon that you're coming out of, and actually, when you're out, to actually sit in the sun and embrace it. Embrace what's the gift that Spirit is going to bring you. There's going to be a big spiritual draw towards you. There's going to be people coming to you that are in great need. I kind of know a little bit about your story, but it's just what's coming to my head, and I wanted to share that with you because right now you're in a transitional period. This period of transition is important. This transmutation. You'll be tested, and you've been tested, but that's part of the journey that you're on. And you can handle this journey of testing of wills, testing of heart, and testing of spirit. Why? Because that's the burden that you're gifted with. And the burden is not hard. It's not wrong. It's what you can handle. Spirit will give us things that we can handle. So as you transform, as you transmute from this butterfly state into this new state, because there's another transformation within the butterfly. When the butterfly dies, it returns back to the earth. We're going to be returning back to the earth and giving back to the mother, and as you give to others. All right. And that's your read, Amber. So let's see what's going on here. See if we have any more. Anybody else need a draw here or a card? Let me know. If not, we'll start to wind this down a little bit. I want to appreciate and I want to give thanks to everybody who's been online, with me tonight as I share the animal card readings. And maybe we'll make it into a regular segment for everybody to get a reading. But like I said, you want more in depth and want to go deeper and need a little more intuitive counseling with this. That's what I do. That's what I do for a living. Some people call me a medicine man, shaman, path walker, totem. I'm just here. I'm your friend. I'm here to share my gifts with the world. So just to kind of recap a little bit, we talked about, our dreams, and the things that are important to us and how we're going to get. For those of you who actually missed the beginning of the show, I would encourage you to go back and watch it again, because I believe there's a lot of information here. Sometimes in the work that we do, the spiritual work we do, we actually channel energy, we channel spirit, we channel the universe. And there's things that come out of my mouth that, sometimes are through the spirit, are always through the spirit that I say, and it's not necessarily everything that I necessarily would necessarily remember or recall. Sometimes when I go back and I watch these shows, and I'm surprised, and I'm in awe by what I hear, and so it's important to me what I say, is of higher source. I always prepare myself for these shows to bring you the best possible things, and I just love the work that I do. I love it. It's important to me. The drumming, the radio shows, the creation of the short videos I do, the pictures I take, the laughing stuff, the goofiness that I do with some of the things that you've seen me do online. Some of you know what I do, but I am who I am. And I do what I do, and I say what I say, and sometimes that's painful, but it's what it is. But I want to thank everybody for being here with me today and tonight and sharing on episode 20. I'm a little bit slow mover and moving on my own personal show, but episode 20 is important. It's about the dreams. It's about dream building. And if you need help with dream building and coaching with that, you let me know. We can strategize, and we can figure out a strategy for you to get you where you need to be, to get me where I need to be. Because as I help others, I help myself. That's why I do this work, because all healing is self-healing. All the healing that you do is your own. I can't heal you. I can only facilitate the energy. I can only facilitate healing that needs to be moved through you by spirit, by God, by the universe, by Buddha, whatever you resonate with. But that energy moves through us. All my relations is all my relations. It doesn't matter if we're the worst or the best. We're all connected because we're all affected by everything that happens on this planet by somebody else. Some of us are affected on the other side of the world. Some of us are affected just through this podcast. We touch lives. We all touch lives. Every single one of you touch lives. How many lives you touch, you'll never know. It's like a pebble dropped in the ocean. You see the ripples at first, but they disappear. But within those ripples, they're touching and moving. Like in Cloud Atlas. I remember a scene. Those of you who've seen Cloud Atlas, if you haven't, you should see it. It's about soul families that move on from time and they change different roles. There was a scene where the girl goes, the father's like, "Well, you're just a drop in the ocean." I'm probably messing this up, but she goes, you're insignificant. She goes, "But you know what? I'm a drop in the ocean of many, and those many make a difference." As you fall into the ocean, and as you're consumed by it, you become bigger and more powerful and more connected. And the consciousness of that is enormous. So when you feel things at night, when you feel things and you feel energy, because we all do, sometimes we just don't know what it is. That's what it is. It's us affecting the mass ocean as we send our ripples out to it. And that's what it's about. So I encourage you, do your best. Strive to be better. By helping yourself, you help others, and helping others, you help yourself. So it's a symbiotic relationship. Mother Earth loves us. We love her. So thank you for tuning in, and thank you for being here. And for those of you who just want to know a little bit more, like I said, go to iggygarcia.com or with Insights Radio. That's what we do. I enjoy doing these shows. And if there's a topic you want to talk about, let's ask Iggy. Let's do an Ask Iggy show. Just ask me anything, and let's see how that goes. That'd be kind of fun. But anyhow, let's do a live stream like that next week. Let's go into next week, and we'll do let's ask Iggy, and let's see how I can intuitively channel the energy and share with you what needs to be shared. So I want to thank everybody. You have a great evening, a good night. Drop me a note. Let everybody know about my shows. Share this podcast if you like. I mean, that's up to you if you want to, but I would be thankful and appreciative of that to get my message out to the world about what the work I do and the work I do with my friends, as you all here tuned in. Be well. Give somebody a hug. And just keep sharing your stories. Share your stories with me. Share your stories with your families. Keep dreaming. Never stop dreaming. Dream big. Don't let anybody steal your dreams. I'll talk to you guys later. Aho. Reksikuy. Itakuyasu. Bye-bye. Do you have faith?